Because I love people and I love chatting with people, and this looks like a good table. Hi, sweetheart, where you from?
I'm from Buffalo.
Buffalo. I got relatives in Buffalo. I think they're dead. Then again, so's Buffalo, so I... No, it's a wonderful town, really. Ooh, jeez. Let's see. And hi, sweetheart. Who's this dummy beside you, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe this man flew all the way in for my millionth performance tonight. Mr. Buddy Phelps, ladies and gentlemen. Buddy, come on up on stage. Come on. Come on. It'll be fun. Come on, buddy. Buddy Phelps, ladies and gentlemen. Face the crowd. Come on, buddy. Thank you very much. Boy, I'll tell you, it's been a long time. It's great to see you, partner. You're looking fabulous.
Thanks, Bobby.
Really? What have you been up to?
Oh, you know.
Buddy, for old time's sake. Huh? How about it? For old time's sake up here on stage? Come on.
Oh, no.
The old ventriloquist routine, huh?
No.
Come on. For me, buddy, please. Wouldn't you folks like to see a little piece of history here, huh?
In 1963, Stanley Kramer produced It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, a very successful comedy utilizing the talents of literally every known comic going at that time, except Bobby Bittman. Bobby was very upset, as was everyone in the agency, and he desperately wanted to make another picture where he could once and for all show the world what a brilliant comedic talent he was. He wanted to direct it, produce it, star in it, to ensure a quality product. Jackie said, I just want everybody to have fun, because that's what comedy is all about.
Now I want that son of a bitch off my set!
He's only a kid, Bobby.
First of all, it's not Bobby, it's Mr. Bittman to you. Mr. Bittman, that goes for everybody! Now just do your job, make sure he knows his lines.
I'll talk to him.
Just do it! Okay, everybody. We're doing a comedy here. Let's lighten up. Time is money. I want my actors.
He was a horrible man who scared children, and he was quite unfunny. He'd come into the makeup wagon at 6 a.m. and start spewing these new jokes he was trying out. Put us all in a hostile frame of mind for the rest of the day.
The poor slob was Bobby's statement as an auteur and as a real person. After the first preview screening, he said to me, Jack, if this don't bag me an Oscar, then I don't know what.
So you see, children, don't be sad. 'Cause up in heaven, there's lots of work for clowns. People have to laugh up there, too. So remember me, 'cause if you do, whenever you're sad, in the deep, dark recesses of your little minds, you'll hear laughing 'cause a pie hit my face. You'll hear laughing 'cause I tripped on my lace. 'Cause a clown performs in a child's heart for a laugh, for a chuckle, and it's getting dark. Goodbye, don't cry. It's time to die.
It was called the biggest disaster since Sodom and Gomorrah, and it completely destroyed him. He was a shell of a man when I first met him, shortly after the picture was released, and I felt for him because he was dealing with this enormous failure alone. He had no one, and I could see that he needed someone to care for him. He needed someone to support and encourage him. He needed a shoulder to cry on. He needed someone to love him. Unfortunately, he ended up with me. It was a mistake.
The marriage lasted 6 days. And with that failure, Bobby shocked the entertainment world by announcing his retirement from show business.
It's the first time he'd been home. Since when, Sam?
I don't know, 15 years.
I said, so what happened with Marcia? What did you do? Did you say something? She seemed like such a nice girl from a fine family. Her father was a very successful lawyer.
But he made a fortune in first and second mortgages. A very hotsy-totsy guy.
But did he listen to me?
No, because you kept calling him Herschel. He hates to be called Herschel.
That's not what made him leave that night.
Oh, here we go.
His bags weren't even unpacked yet and he's gone.
All I said was that some people are cut out for this business and some people aren't. I couldn't lie to the kid. He's my son.
How about a nice hand for Mr. Buddy Phelps, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? What a trooper. I think he's okay. He fainted or something. I think the hot lights must have got to him. Is the producer of this biography show in the, there you are. Can we edit this Phelps thing out of the show? Because not that Phelps would mind, you know, he's a great guy, but it kind of threw a crimp into the show, and we can do it? Great, that's good. Let's see, where was I? Whoa, throws your rhythm off.
1 week after he retired, he calls me. He wants to do another picture. I said, why don't you just tar and feather yourself? It'll be a lot less humiliating.
Jack found him a nice little script. It was called Easy Rider. The part of a lawyer who befriends a hippie, and they ride around on a motorcycle discovering America. The part would have launched a major film career. It would have done for Bittman what it did for Nicholson.
He said, 8 weeks on a bike, I'll end up with sores on my ass. And for what? Just because some hippie gets shot? I said, I think you're missing the point.
He wanted us to get his face on every magazine cover in the country.
I said, hey, who are we kidding here, Bobby? Your career doesn't need a PR firm, it needs a priest.
But there was a challenge here we couldn't resist. I mean, he wanted a complete image makeover. Get him back in the public eye in a very positive light. We told him this was not going to be inexpensive. He said money was no problem.
But we needed an angle, a hook.
He tells us he's recently remarried, has a new baby who's the love of his life. And we thought, what better angle than this?
Perfect, A1. We got on the cover of every major magazine, including Time and Life.
Time and Life.
It was not easy. But we were proud of what we accomplished.
But wait, here's the kicker, all right? We later find out he did not get remarried. The kid in the picture is not his kid, but some kid he hired for the photo shoot. Absolutely incredible.
But it got him what he wanted.
Yeah.
He was back in the mainstream. And the new family image landed him a new sitcom.
How are ya?
His demands were outrageous. He wanted complete creative control and a 26-show guarantee. No pilot. I said, Bobby, I'm an agent. I'm not a miracle worker. But the idea of using a real comic to play a character in the comedy business was appealing to the networks. And it certainly worked for Danny Thomas and Dick Van Dyke. They bought it.
Okay, kids, time for bed.
Over my dad, Bobby.
All right, you two, come on over here. Sit down beside your old dad, huh? You know, I was so busy rewriting my monologue today, I didn't get a chance to tell you how proud I am of you two. You went to the doctor's today? You didn't even cry.
No, it was easy. And he gave us a second everything.
You see? Didn't I tell you it wouldn't be that bad?
The guy ahead of us sure didn't like it.
Why? What happened?
We heard the doctor say, Mr. Jones, I just got your test results back. I have some good news and some bad news. And Mr. Jones said, what's the bad news?
And the doctor said, you only have 1 week to live.
And Mr. Jones said, what's the good news?
And the doctor said, oh, you see that nurse over there? The one with the big jugs? I finally got in a sack last night.
Oh, kids.
Good night, everybody.
It was the crudest display of bad taste I'd ever seen. Needless to say, they yanked the show immediately.
But for Bittman, exposure on national television did exactly what he wanted it to do. The failing up syndrome that's so prevalent in the entertainment industry had worked again. He went back to headlining main rooms as a major star. And he's remained up there ever since.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You know, as a comic, in all seriousness, you have made this night for me something very special. Your laughter, your warmth, your acceptance, if you will, has meant a lot to me. And if there's one thing I know, it's people. And I know that you have been touched by me tonight, and I, in return, have been touched by your response. And I'm humbled by it. And I thank you, and good night, and may God bless each and every one of you.
The irony of Bittman's life is that for a man whose career was built on jokes, he's the brunt of the biggest joke going in Hollywood. The one about the screenwriter who gets a call from his agent who says, guess what? Lucas is interested in producing your script. And the writer says, what? George Lucas wants to produce my script? And the agent says, no, not George Lucas, Sam Lucas. He's young, but he's got enthusiasm. Oh, and Spielberg wants to direct your script. And the writer said, Steven Spielberg wants to direct my script? And the agent says, not Steven Spielberg, Stan Spielberg. Oh, but he loves the project. Oh, and De Niro wants the lead role. And the writer says, Robert De Niro? No, not Robert De Niro, Ralph De Niro. Oh, and Bittman has been signed for the support role. And the writer says, Bobby Bittman? And the agent says, that's right.